Klaus, many thanks for your time. Could you tell us more about this breakthrough that ABB has announced today?
Yes, the breakthrough is that we have developed a hybrid high voltage DC breaker. And we stress the word hybrid because that means that it's a combination of a mechanical breaker and a power electronic element. And the reason for why we combine the two is that leads to a breaker with low losses but still very, very fast. And the reason for the breaker to be fast is that when we deal with DC, direct current, you can compare it to drive a truck on a highway with a very, very high speed. And then the challenge we have is to stop that truck within a very short time period. We talk about 5 milliseconds or less. And then you can imagine the energy we have to take care of to really block or stop that truck that quick. So we have achieved, say, a technology breakthrough in being able to stop this truck in 5 milliseconds. And why is that then important? Important is really that DC in many aspects is to prefer before AC. And that has to do with the capacity of lines of current shape, of the similar shape and stature. Capacity is much higher with DC. We have less footprint. We have the ability to go subsea and underground with DC, which is not possible with AC. So from many aspects, this is a real breakthrough.
Could you give us some more historical context to this challenge?
It has been a challenge for the last 100 years, since the war of currents between Edison and Westinghouse. And nobody has really been able to solve it. I mean, for a few years, we could do it with using poor power electronics, but the drawback then has been too high losses, so it would not be commercially feasible. What we have been able to do now is to combine the power electronic breaker functionality with a mechanical breaker, thereby lower the losses and at the same time keeping the speed. So we can still break in this 5 milliseconds, which, by the way, is about 25-30 times faster than a blink of an eye.
What is the significance of this breakthrough for the future development of transmission grids?
The significance is that we can now build DC grids. So far we have, for the last 60 years, built a lot of DC lines, but it's been point-to-point connections from one point to another point. So you can imagine if something goes wrong with that line, we have to switch off the whole power flow, which most likely could lead to a blackout. With this, we can build a grid where we have multiple inputs and multiple outputs, and we have the possibility to switch off an individual line if something goes wrong. And thereby we increase the reliability and the security of the power supply dramatically. And the DC backbones or the transmission lines will be needed in a future environment where we have a lot of renewable energy located in different locations. If we take Europe as an example, I mean, we have hydro in Scandinavia and the Alps, we have wind in the North Sea, and we have sun in the south. And if you really want to optimize the use of these energy sources, you need a very strong transmission backbone. And there we believe that DC is the right solution.
Klaus, many thanks for your time.